oh my gosh, it's a tuk-tuk, right? This is a tuk-tuk, right? So they've got one of these. Wait a minute. A tuk-tuk? Really? No one can drive these. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. This is Alaka here for EPCreativeMedia and I am back with a brand new video. I actually have not done one of these in quite a while now, and I know I'm a little late to the party, but you know, I might be a day late, but I'm certainly not $1 short. So anyways, I actually watched already the Sims 4 for Rent expansion pack trailer reveal, and I thought I would record a video where I am giving my 2 cents about what I think of it. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna press play because I've already watched it, like I said, and then we're just gonna go through and see if we can spot some details, because I've got some thoughts of some of the things that I have observed about this trailer. But otherwise, before I actually continue, please, if you are new to my channel, please do not forget to click on that like button, and of course click on the subscribe button so that you can receive notifications every time I upload new videos. And of course, please feel free to leave your comments down below, as that really helps me immensely with the algorithm. Otherwise, without further ado, let us get cracking. Okay, so obviously not all images appear in game. I mean, we're kind of used to that, are we not? So this obviously is the new town. It's got like this whole Asian vibe about it. I think I saw some people tweet saying that it might be Indonesian culture that they have adapted. As soon as I saw this, right, the first thing that came to mind was like, oh my goodness, it looks like we are going to be having apartments. I'm not so sure about this particular build. Let it continue, because it's got like a couple of, it's two-tone, 2 different colors. It looks like, this looks like a whole different building from the buildings on the side, where I'm like, okay. But looking at it as a whole, you know, I do love the fact that they clearly have multiple Sims living in this place. Whether some of the things are going to be only decorative or not, that obviously is yet to be known after they release the pack itself and people start discovering for themselves. This particular side apparently is called Rokaya Rockside. I'm assuming that's the name of the apartment building. Maybe, I don't know if it's the name of the apartment building or the actual area, because this is coming with a new world by the looks of things. So which means as new worlds are created in The Sims, they always tend to have like a section that's got a name, you know what I mean? Within, like, if you go to Del Sol Valley and all that, there's sections within it that have got names there. And so I'm assuming Rokaya Rockside must be the name of this particular section of town, of the world, should I say. And from what I'm observing, at the very top, that's a solar paneled water heater. First I thought that was clothing, but I think they're lanterns. I noticed as well there's loads of air conditioning. Now in the UK, this is not a common thing. It's not even a thing. I don't think I've seen, I don't know, unless I don't pay attention, but it's never been a thing to have air conditioning machines like pop out outside someone's apartment or flat like that. And I can see from the trailer, obviously we're going to see her later on, they called her the Snooper, but she seems to be looking through the telescope. So I don't know if this is the base game telescope, because it does look different. But then again, I've only, I think, added a telescope to the world ever since they introduced it, the smaller version that is. Ever since they introduced it to the game, I've only ever added it, I think, to my game like once, and I used the black swatch, so I never really went through the other swatches, so I don't know if this is the base game one. I can see there's a new awning here. And even the balcony styles are actually really different. I do love the way the railings kind of look there. It's pretty cool. I love the fencing, because I have always wanted a wider variety of fencing available to us, because honestly, that's really, really lacking. And another thing that I feel is always lacking with the build buy is being able to have the option of fencing that matches the the railings for like the stairs, you know. We need a bit more of that, as well as the gates. Oh my gosh, there's loads of fencing that have gates that do not match, and I think we need a little bit more of that, and just a wider variety of fencing. And when I talk about that, I'm talking about like height wise, in terms of like, you see how we've got this white one. How amazing would it be if we had like 3 levels of it? We've got this height, maybe a next height up, and then like, you know, a third height up. Pretty much similar to what they do with the doors. Even if with the doors, again, like, you know, the higher you go, the less doors we have, to be honest. So that would be quite amazing. And I can see this is a for sale sign or something, or for rent sign, which is pretty cool. I'm kind of happy that they've done this, because I feel like they've got modders like Sim Realist, who basically has a for rental, you know, where you can rent out properties and things like that in place. And so I'm assuming that because of this pack coming out, the Sim Realist mod is going to be broken, and adjustments are likely to be needed to be made to that pack. And I noticed like a bin there. That's the typical outdoor bin that you would see in certain places. It looks more like a recycling bin more than anything, but it's pretty cool to kind of see that. And then something I am a little bit curious about, can I zoom in on this? I wish I could. Oh, I always forget that you can actually scroll down in full full screen mode. I've noticed something. They're flat right here, right? You can see the windows right here, and you can see the swimming pool right there. Does that mean if you implement the swimming pool at the very top, it will not interfere with the bottom of the flats? Because normally, when whatever level you've got the pool on, whatever's underneath, literally it will have to be like a whole room, so to speak. So I'm very curious about how the efficiency of this is going to work, or how the effectiveness of it is actually going to work to the advantage of people playing the game. But hey, let me continue. Okay, so she's the property owner. So when I initially started watching it, I actually got confused between the property owner and the snooping girl, because one has actually got a bob and the other one's actually got long hair. So she's the property owner. She walks in, as you can see, literally a whole bunch of brand new stuff, from the doors, the plant, the flooring, her clothing, her hairstyle, her jewelry. Everything is literally all new to the pack. And then I'm assuming this is a tenant. I think they did say tenant, yep. So does that mean, right, looking back here, does this mean that the tenants that you have within the block of flats or apartments or whatever are going to be receiving their mail here, and then when they collect their mail, like the little paper bit that's poking out is going to disappear? I wonder. Obviously another tenant who's complaining about wet clothes or something. So loads and loads of tenants like chatting and gossiping. As you can see, like you're literally looking through a whole bunch of new clothes. And then the snooper. Now I'm trying to understand, she's a snooper. I feel like she goes around stealing people's things as well. And I'm assuming as the landlord, so this is what he was getting upset about. There was a leakage somewhere, and so she's gone to fix it. I'm assuming if your handiness skill is low, it's likely that you can get electrocuted when you decide to come and fix whatever needs fixing in one of your tenants' flats, basically. And then I think this is where she actually lives, although it mentioned that she was a tenant. So I'm trying to figure out, is this someone's flat? I'm confused about that. If this is someone's flat or anything, I'm not sure. And then also, okay, so you know how City Living has got a loading screen, right? City Living has a loading screen between one flat to another. Like if I'm just going across the corridor to get into someone else's flat, it's going to go through a loading screen. I'm assuming because we can build apartments ourselves, I doubt that they're going to put a loading screen between the apartments. I'm assuming, my assumption on this is that they are going to make it so that you can, you know how you can assign beds for the maid, I think for the live-in butler, with the, what pack was that one? I can't remember, but the live-in butler, you can assign them a bed, but you just have to make sure that you lock the door for everyone but them, so that only they can have access to the door. And so I'm assuming that with this expansion pack, they're likely to make it so that you can lock the doors for everybody but for the tenant that belongs to that particular apartment, I'm assuming, and then maybe give access to the landlord, or the landlord might have a master key kind of thing in case of anything so they can go in. That's my assumption on that. And then looking from this dude who's dancing, oh my god, so cheesily. There's a new dance, obviously. There's a new stereo, as you can see, although it seems a bit weird. His apartment is so disgusting though. Yeah, there we go, electric's gone. And so basically, again, you know, constantly fixing things, and I'm assuming you can hire an electrician to come and fix things. And there's loads of new clutter, it seems they've added, although I think that's in base game, that one, I've seen it before. But things like this, I've never seen that before. I've never seen that before. All these signs, never seen them before as well. The wallpaper, this is new. Let's continue. Oh my gosh, he's back to making noise again. Hilarious. And then obviously there's the town square, where basically you've got like the fishmongers selling fish, you've got the market people selling all kinds of cuisine and things like that. And you can see this woman is about to throw one of those lanterns. So that's, I think, going to be, I'm hoping that's going to be in-game, because that's kind of cool if you can be able to actually do that. And then you can see loads and loads of new clothing available. I love the slippers. These are pretty cute. Those slippers are pretty cute, and it seems they're both wearing the same type of slippers, just different colors. What else seems to be different? Yeah, apart from obviously these new stands, we've got so many stands in The Sims. For somebody, I literally have not gone through all of them. I've still yet to go through all of them to try and like just play with them and see what your sim can be able to sell through them. Although something I've noticed, if you've got one of those stands, I've never been able to make money off of them, if that makes sense. Because I think if you can be able to do that so that your sim is the actual vendor, that will actually be really, really handy. That will be really, really helpful. Because I noticed the only way we can be a vendor is if we buy that table that we can use for the market stall. And then we can be able to sell things, you know, like woodwork we make and things like that we put on that table, we sell it that way. But I've never actually noticed, I've never actually seen an option that allows us to be a vendor within those little, you know, market booths. So I think it would be really amazing if they were able to implement something that allows us to actually be the vendor for those booths. That way our sims can actually make their own income from the booth, as opposed to them just manning it but actually not earning anything. Because I don't recall my sim ever making any money, because I know I've had my sim go and be the vendor for that thing, and no, it's never worked. Not that I've seen anyways, not that I've witnessed. And it seems new hairstyles as well. Okay, so she's using binoculars, even if, okay, that you know they've said not everything will appear in game. So she's going around using binoculars to spy on people, etc., that sort of thing. And then next thing you see her, she's breaking into someone's house. Does that mean she's going around to see who's available, who's not in their flat? And whoever's not in their flat, she can actually be able to go and break in. I'm assuming that's the situation. And if you notice, let me just go back. See here, the couple, okay, she's right there. The couple's busy enjoying their food. By the way, new hat, new jewelry everywhere, and then the new hairstyle there. They're enjoying their food. She uses her binoculars to make sure that they're definitely far from the apartment. And then she goes, she's got an idea to go and break into their flat. She goes and breaks into the flat. That thing hanging on the side is it. And then as she is literally browsing through their flat, I think she goes and spots something in the flat that she's not supposed to. And I'm saying this because I'll explain in a bit the other scene that's about to arrive. So she literally goes, snoops around in the flats to try and find some, in my opinion, blackmailing information, because I don't see her actually stealing anything. See, she's laughing maniacally. Obviously, I've got the music completely turned off because I don't want any copyright strike or anything like that. But she is laughing maniacally, but you don't see her actually stealing anything. I think she's found out something that she's not supposed to find out, that's only private to that couple. And so as you can see, let me see, the scene is going to show later on. Then they show one of those old school toilets. I can't remember what they're called. One of the old school toilets, but in a flat. I'm assuming this flat, like the tenant must have not been responding or, you know, doing anything. So there was a smell. It was just weird, something weird going on. So she decides to check, only to find that he's got an outbreak of the COVID. Like, it just isn't me that even if it's pretty cool that it seems there's a new death and everything in terms of levels of hygiene, but the fact that it seems very apocalyptic seems so extreme to me anyways. It really seems really extreme, like to grow off fungus and everything all over his body. Like, what? It's weird. I do love the fact that they have introduced these plastic lawn chairs, as well as the outdoor table with the plastic cover. You can see that's literally a plastic cover. Now, I don't know if we're going to have the option to put the plastic cover on top, or this is exactly how it comes and then we just pick the swatches that work for us. There's a new barbecue stand, have you noticed? A new pool item. Let me see if the 20, oh man, I wanted to kind of clip by the pool so that I could see more things, but the 20 was kind of blocking. But yeah, there's the new pool floater. Obviously you can see the outdoor lights. Yep, I did guess the lanterns of sorts. And this is definitely a hot water heater here at the top. I don't know if it's been put there to help heat the water in the swimming pool or not. I am not sure about that. And then you can see the kids. I can't wait to see the parts, actually the detail part of the kids, because I thought the games looked kind of cool. And again, more clothing, the kids playing marbles. I think the game that we used to play back home, I can't remember what the name was, but it was very similar like this, where you had to put the balls in and out, and you have to keep tossing the ball up in the air and catching it, pretty much. I feel like we used to play complicated games as kids back in the day, which is very different from here, where everything is kind of instant for the young ones. But let's see. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so can you see the simoleon sign up there? The simoleon sign that pops up, she whispers something to him. He doesn't seem to like what she has clearly said to him. And then she puts her hand out and requests for money. Otherwise, if you don't pay me, I'm gonna blab. This is my assumption. If you don't pay, I found out this about you. I know this about you and your wife. And so if you do not pay me, I'm gonna tell everybody. Unless you tell me, I'm not gonna tell anyone your secret. I feel like that's what's happening, because initially I thought, oh, she must be the landlord and he owes rent. No, she's the snooper and she's got a bob. So she lives there, but she's just one of those people that you do not want to be your neighbor. And so he sadly pays her. And then the guy that died from the poison, or should I say from anthrax or COVID-19 or whatever, from, you know, could be any one of those like illnesses that come as a result of you not being clean entirely. Although COVID is not really fully like that, it's more just contagious, but you get my point. His ghost has come back to basically, I'm assuming when he sneezes and stuff like that, people can get it. I'm just trying to figure out whether it's contagious, because if the smoke is coming onto her and the way she's sitting, it's almost as though she can't see him, so instead she just receives the dust that he sneezes out. And so does that mean it gets contagious and then more Sims can actually die, which means we're looking at a pandemic of sorts, you know? So yeah, I'm curious. Another thing I'm curious about is this. Okay, I'm very curious about this. Is that a roof? Is that a rooftop topping type thing that we can just add? I really want to know how we can implement this. Or is it one of those buildings that is only available in if you unlock live mode items? I wonder. See, yep, there's the game. The kids are playing. Let's see. Oh, okay, so because he sneezed on her, she's actually upset and she's having a go at him, so she can see him as the ghost. Okay. She's having a proper go at him. I'm just trying to look around to see if there's anything else that I see that is of interest. I am trying to figure out like how many people you can actually have in this flat. I can see like there's 1, 2, 3 floors, and in those 3 floors I'm assuming like each floor has like should have like 2 flats each. But how many Sims per flat can you be able to have, and then in the entire building, what's the maximum? That's what I'm curious about. Like how far can you go in having more tenants? As you can see, there's a gazebo, again another food store, and oh my gosh, it's a tuk-tuk, right? This is a tuk-tuk, right? So they've got one of these. Wait a minute, wait 1 minute, wait 1 minute. Why? 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 I feel like this is just cruel. Why, Sims team? Why? A tuk-tuk? Really? No one can drive these, or unless it's going to work, it's going to be functional in a similar fashion to a bicycle. Why? That's just mean. And then there's a letterbox. So obviously this one is different because this one is a whole different building. So the decor, the post boxes, again, new post boxes, new items. As you can see, this gazebo like stands, different swatches allow you to have different types of foods that you can sell. But again, I don't know if our Sims will be able to actually have one that they own where they can be able to actually make an income out of it, because I feel like that would be quite amazing if they can implement that for all of them from all the different packs, including the base game one. This is pretty cool, you know. Doesn't look too bad, and it looks like it's got less tenants. I feel like this one's just got 4 tenants and that's it, or should I say 4 households. Something else I've noticed as well is this. Can you see that? It's I wish I could zoom in. This is one of those like a barrier, a gate. Yeah, a gate, kind of like a gate for security. So it must slide, right? But with that, or do you just place it as like a decoration item, like a decor, so that it looks like it slides and it just stays half closed? I would have preferred, I'm hoping it's functional. And if that's the case, does that mean you'll be able to put a door next to a door, like back to back, so that that one can actually be able to close? I'm very curious about that. Really curious. As you can see, oh no, let's not go too fast. Oh shoot, I went way too far. Okay, it's fine. This part passes quickly anyways. As you can see, this is a pink one. And I'm assuming these are all different areas of this new world, because clearly here the people live a very different lifestyle in this pink apartment block. And then this one, again, this one's slightly different, again smaller. We can see a table, again a food table. I'm assuming a normal table for people to eat at. You can see one of those mailboxes again, but just a different swatch. Anything else that I see? The world looks pretty decent, but again, for me, what I'm hoping for is, honestly, I was going through the some of the worlds from before, from like some years ago now, and worlds such as Brindleton Bay, and also worlds, what was the name of the world that came with Get Together? The world that came with Get Together, gosh, I've forgotten the name, but the world that came with Get Together, if I'm not mistaken, has like 20 something lots, 20 something, and now we're literally getting half or under half of that. I feel like the Sims team needs to do something about that, because that's another thing that's actually getting to people, is the fact that we're getting all these expansion packs and we're getting all these game packs, etc., that come with worlds, and then the worlds come with just a small handful of lots that we can be able to utilize. And I think that actually does take away from the gameplay and people really being able to make the most of that particular pack, is the lack of lots. And you find that there's very few lots, and then loads of land, and then half of that land you can't even go to. They won't even provide us like rabbit holes, you know. I think people might even be happy with rabbit holes if you've got all these stationary items around. Don't make, you know, like Horse Ranch one, I haven't had a chance to play that one just as yet, but when I was looking through it, I noticed there was loads of land, but half of it, literally when you go over it with your mouse, you find that it's got like the red button, you know, the red stop sign pop up to say that your sim actually can't go there. And I feel like that's something they need to adjust, because it's griping on people. I mean, for me, I don't care that much, but I can understand, you know, because it's a lot of money for people to be buying these things only for them to get mediocre, if that makes sense, you know. And so this is the world as a whole. It kind of reminds me of Tartosa / Tartosa, and is Tartosa the one that, no, Tartosa is the wedding one, right? And then the one that comes with the students, with the school, high school, it's called high school actually, I think. High school, and the one with Tartosa with the wedding pack. It reminds me, like, it's a little bit of a cross between those two in this, the way it is, and you can see it's already, you can tell we're gonna have like minimal, unless this is just one, I'm assuming this is just one section of the world, and there's more to it. So you see things like this. These are so cool, and would have been cooler if our Sims can actually come down here. So we'll find out anyways during the gameplay, see what they're saying about that. So get busy, 7th of December. And then obviously if you purchase it by the 18th of January, you get the Street East digital content, Quick Treats Grill, as well as the Street Size Star Shade and Peak Freshness Fruit Basket. So if people manage to get this, are they going to be able to actually use it so that they can sell stuff? If that's the case, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, I think I pretty much went over everything that I need to see. So let's just quickly go through the notes, because the notes always have something extra. So I've got the notes ready on here. So let's quickly have a look. Early purchase incentive, bring market flavor home with a grill cart. So you can grill cart, street umbrella, fruit basket available when you order November 2nd through January 18th. Yeah, that's fine. Let's continue, keep going. Property management. Property owner Sims can be present property managers living among their tenants, or they can live in a separate residence while generating income from several property investments. Watch out, if property owners don't keep their unit ratings high, they could face a tenant revolt. So which means similar to all the packs that basically have you rated, so like the get to work ones, if you own like a restaurant, if you own a shop, actually the restaurant kind of comes with dine out, so let me not mix the two. But if you own a shop, people actually can rate you, if I'm not mistaken. Can they? I think so. Can they? I think so. Like if your shop is doing well or not. But the restaurant one, the dine out, yes, people can definitely rate you. So I'm assuming like this is what this is implying. New lot type in town. New residential rental lots give you the chance to get creative with multi-family dwellings. Give your Sims a basement suite to rent out, create a duplex to keep two families close, or even build apartments. And so this is what I'm talking about. I think they'll be able to kind of travel from place to place. And I noticed, if this isn't built by, look at the lines around them. What does this mean? Does that mean like when you build them, in order to be able to say this place belongs to this particular tenant, the lines will help like divide to say, yeah, this is for this tenant, this is for this tenant? I think this might be what this might be. I'm getting tongue-tied. Here it says closer than ever. Closeness can create harmony or drama. Sims in residential rentals will inevitably get tangled up in each other's lives. They'll socialize at potlucks, should I say, meet in the garden or other common areas, and have ample opportunity to discover each other's secrets, see, by eavesdropping, snooping, or even breaking and entering. I think the breaking and entering is so out of pocket. But she's pregnant. So I'm trying to figure out what she blackmailed them with, honestly. So here's a bustling and beautiful, explore a new world that's alive with possibilities. Visit the botanical garden, leave an offspring at a spirit house, and discover an animal sanctuary. One of the most iconic scenes Tomarang has to offer is the night market, where your Sims will discover new foods and unique objects. Okay, so there's going to be a night market. So I'm assuming it's just going to spawn, and your Sims can actually go there, which would be a change, I must say, because with pretty much all the packs or the worlds, after a certain time, literally, it's quite fascinating for me. I always laugh at them, like, wow, the Sims actually know how to keep curfew, because it's like after a certain time, you literally will not see Sims wandering around as much. You won't find even the vendors, the ones that come and, you know, the open the vending booth or whatever to sell the food, etc., drinks or whatever snacks. They will not be there at night. They'll literally only pop up in the morning, and then after a certain time, obviously after certain hours, they will go home, and then there'll be a shift change, so another one will come in their place. But so this will be kind of different, where we'll actually be able to go, especially if you've got a Sim you've got them working different hours, etc., that sort of thing, and you want them to just be on the night, out to just go get something or socialize. This will actually be quite perfect, because I feel like my Sims, especially when they're doing Rugs to Riches, and they don't have anywhere to go to sleep, etc., they never have anywhere to go late at night, because everyone is just disappeared. Everyone is kind of gone. Very realistic too, by the way. So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. And that brings me to the end of my review of The Sims 4 for Rent expansion pack. I honestly, for me, I'm not too fast. That and the fact that honestly, I do prefer to have all the packs because I enjoy building. And I also enjoy downloading buildings from other builders. And I actually detest downloading a building and then items are missing. I like to be able to have everything. That's the reason why I get all the packs. So I'm definitely going to be getting this. But what are your thoughts? Are you going to be getting this? Are you excited about the Sims 4 for Rent expansion pack? Are you excited to be able to build apartments? Or are you still on the fence until you see the gameplay video where they show and explain obviously what details are actually going to be coming with the pack? Is that when you're going to make your mind up? Leave your comments down below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and as before, if you are new to my channel, please do click on that subscribe button, and of course click on the bell button so that you can receive notifications every time I upload new content. And of course, please do give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching it, and also please do share it to anybody that might be interested in watching it, and leave your comments down below. Otherwise, as for me, until next time, it's take care and goodbye and God bless.